Hey there, welcome back to another video. This time it's not a review, it's another unboxing. As well as a little update on some DVDs and Blu-rays that I picked up fairly recently. There might be some that I showed before, but I don't know for sure, so I'm just gonna wing it. There are some other titles that I picked up on DVD, but I don't really think they're not like really well-known titles, and I don't really think they're something that's worth showing. I only got them because they were really cheap. But that being said, let's actually get started. First, we're going to do the unboxing. This is a gift from a longtime subscriber named Martin. I believe he's from overseas, and he had sent me something in the past, some food and drinks under a different username. I think it was Pippity Boopla, I think is the name. And I think his username is Who's Martin now. I could be wrong. Um, it's not coming to my head right now, but yeah, he sent me. He said he was gonna send me some stuff, and this is what this unboxing is gonna be. So here we go. All right. Oh, cool. The original House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. I've actually really, I don't think I've seen this one. So this is good for the collection. The original House on Haunted Hill by Vincent Price. I know he's a really big fan of the remake, and so am I. So yeah. Um, oh, okay, Revenge. I actually have this on Blu-ray, but this is a pretty awesome. I've heard there's a lot of good things about this. It's a pretty awesome film. Despite the fact that I already have it, I'm gonna keep this because the cover art's a little different. It has all the different stars, different ratings on it, so it's a little bit kind of like having an alternate version of the film in terms of the cover art. And oh, The Woman in Black. Okay. Oh yeah, The Woman in Black, A Ghost Story. This is by Susan Hill. This is the original, I guess, book that the movie The Woman in Black and the miniseries is based on. Okay. All right. And there's a postcard in here. This is interesting. It's a postcard from, oh, was it Devonshire or something? This is pretty cool, actually. This is an old postcard that was in this book. All right. Okay. All right. The Woman in Black. Oh, and also in here is a nice little bonus. Some Casper uh, trading cards. That's pretty cool. I like Casper. Casper's cool. So then we have more DVDs. So we have. Huh. I never really heard of some of these. This is interesting. Something called The Dark. Oh, with Maria Bello and Sean Bean. I'm not really a big fan of Sean Bean, but eh, seems to have some good reviews. Might be okay. I wonder if this is a different title. Like this is something else on, you know, in the UK versus what it is in the US. The Awakening. Becca Hall, Dominic West, Imelda Staunton. Never heard of this one. Oh, it's like an old school haunted house type of movie. I like these a lot. Oh, it takes place in post World War One England as well. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. Alright, I'm curious about this one. Because you don't really see very many ghost stories take place in that particular time period, so that's going to be interesting. Episode 50. I have never heard of this. Episode 50. TV crew of paranormal investigators disproved 49 cases of the supernatural. This is their final footage. So I guess this is a found footage film. Um, huh. No, I've never heard of. Okay, all right. And then The Woman in Black with Daniel Radcliffe. God, that cover art is horrendous. That is horrible. Look at that. Look at that cover art. Like that is that even his real? That doesn't even look like it's actually. Look. This is what Daniel Radcliffe looks like. Does that look like Daniel Radcliffe to you? It doesn't even look like Daniel Radcliffe. Who the fuck is this guy on the cover? It doesn't look like Daniel Radcliffe. They fucked it up so bad with Photoshop. It doesn't. He's not even recognizable. I've heard about this one, but I've never seen it. So now I get the chance to see it. Thanks to Martin. Thanks, man. You know what? I'm gonna try to definitely get around to reviewing these one of these days. Maybe I'll have some more free time. Probably will have even less free time, to be honest, because I'm gonna be going back to school and working part time. But I'll try to make some time. I'll save some of these for October. It's a good time to do it. Some random horror reviews for October, as well as the original House on Haunted Hill, and the remake. Which by that point I'll probably have gotten my hands on the Blu-ray by Scream Factory, and I'll give this a shot sometime as well. Probably watching my Blu-ray, but I'm gonna keep this just for, it's a gift, and I don't mind that it just I just like the way it looks. And I don't have it on DVD, so keep it for the DVD collection. And I'll give this a read sometime too. The Woman in Black. Give that a read. So, yeah. Thank you once again to Martin for all these nice gifts. Now we're coming up to the part where I talk about various DVDs and Blu-rays that I picked up recently. These I am so psyched about. I got a really good deal on this set. It's not really a set, but it essentially is. Get a really good deal on this. Only paid like $36 shipped for all 4 seasons of Farscape. And I'm so excited to smack myself in the head, apparently. Forgive me, I just got off work, so I'm a little beat. Had a 8-hour shift today. But anyway, I'm still trying to make time to do this video, though. Anyway, I love this show. I haven't seen this show in years, but I watched it a lot growing up because my grandmother really liked this show. It was one of her favorites. So I've always wanted to revisit this, and I did see the complete series on DVD at a sort of thrift shop a few years ago, and the price wasn't that bad, but I didn't jump on it. And for many years afterward, I just kept kicking myself because I was like, oh man, I didn't get that. I should have gotten that. And that place went under, so it's no longer around. So it's one of those things where I felt like I should have taken advantage of that when I had the chance. But the wait paid off because I got a really good deal on all 4 seasons on Blu-ray, not DVD, and the 15th anniversary editions as well, which apparently have a lot of features. So this is season 1 of Farscape, season 2, season 3, and season 4. I don't have the Peacekeeper Wars. I'm gonna get that though, because that is a essential part of this series and essential viewing. So yeah, Farscape, the complete series, all 4 seasons. There's a box set that's out that Has all of these in it, and the only thing that is extra is a comic book, and it's like crazy expensive. So I'm fine with this. Got a really good deal on it, great price. Um, Definitely happy, good shape. So yeah, Farscape. Really like this show. Haven't seen it in years though, because the last time I remember watching Farscape was when it was originally aired on the Sci-Fi Channel with my grandmother. So this is going to be a fun trip down memory lane whenever I get around to watching it again. Then we have Poltergeist: The Legacy. This is another gift. This is from a really good friend of mine, longtime subscriber, um, Mike, and really appreciate the kind gesture here. Been really curious about the show. It's almost like it's kind of like the X-Files, um, but it's one of those shows that I've always been curious about because I really like Poltergeist. I mean, you know me, I'm a huge fan of Poltergeist, and this is like Poltergeist in name only, but still something that I did want to get my hands on. And this is the complete series. What's kind of weird though about this is that it's all, they have little sleeves, kind of cheap, just in sleeves, but at least the plastic is good quality. This is one that I think might be another deja vu, but I wanted to show it anyway and just once again gives a really hearty thanks to Mike for sending that to me. This is another show I had heard of, but I'd actually not seen yet. The Chris Rock Show. So this is seasons 1 and 2 of his show from HBO, which it started in the late 90s, and apparently it lasted for like 5 seasons. But there's only season 1 and 2 available. Like seasons 3 through 5 are like nowhere to be found. You can't stream them. You can't buy them anywhere. I can't seem to find them anywhere online either. So it's one of those things where it's like they might as well have never existed, which is too bad. I mean, it's kind of crazy because it's Chris Rock. He's a well-known comedian. He's very popular, at least he used to be. So it's really surprising that this is a show that has so many missing episodes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It looks like it has a lot. It looks like something right up my alley. I love sketch comedy, and this looks really like a lot of fun. So the Chris Rock Show. The rest of the stuff here is a combination of various different Blu-rays that I got from various different places, as well as a couple of DVDs. So we got Terror Train. This is the brand new Scorpion releasing edition of the film, which has a new transfer of the movie, plus a couple new interview. There's a new interview with the director, new interview with the writer Judith Rasco, plus all the features that were on the Scream Factory release. I did not have that one because I just never really got around to getting it, and it's out of print, so I only had the DVD, which I have thanks to a really good friend of mine, Matt, Ramble Rat for Life. A while back, he sent me one of the DVD copies of the Scream Factory release, but I wanted to get the Blu-ray because, as a collector, of 80s slashers and 80s horror, I definitely want to get my hands on the Blu-ray, and I knew that this particular edition was going to be limited, so I picked it up. Here we have Night of the Creeps, the collector's edition from Scream Factory. I actually paid a pretty cheap price for this. I think I paid like $25. And I thought it was a really good deal because it goes for like $30 on Amazon, so I saved at least a few bucks. And I got it from a website called Hamilton Book, which is a really cool site that has a lot of, really good deals. I got a few other titles that I got from there that I'll show as well. Came with the slipcovers. A lot of people nowadays tend to be really obsessed about slipcovers. I kind of get it because they're cool, but for me, The disc is the most important thing to me. The slipcover is nice and everything, but I care more about these. It's the most important thing. So I actually didn't have Night of the Creeps on Blu-ray until I picked this up. I only had it on DVD. So, love this movie. Great film. Loads of fun. This has a ton of features on it. Ports over the features from the original release. And I've always really liked this cover art, so it's really cool to see, to have this as a slipcover. And paid a good deal for it. Paid a decent price for it, too. Wasn't anything too crazy. And then we have the collector's edition of The Entity, which I got at FYE. I splurged a bit because I really do like this film and I really do like this case. So I decided to buy it, and mainly for the Barbara Hershey interview. Village of the Damned, collector's edition for the John Carpenter collection. This cover art is god awful. It looks like somebody's shitty wood carving. Like that. This is one of the worst. People complain about the slipcovers nowadays, and I can kind of get it when it comes to the faces on a lot of Scream Factory slipcovers. The faces look pretty unnatural and smoothed out and weird. But this is just as bad, if not worse. This just looks like this is the best they could do. It just, I don't know. I don't like this cover art. I've never really cared for it. This slip. And the original poster art isn't a whole lot better, but I don't know. I just think they could have done better. I think, it would have been nice to see, like, Christopher Reeve on the cover, or, Mark Hamill, or Kirstie Alley, and it's redundant, too, because you already have the kids on the original poster, and then, this art is just, I'm not super big on it. But for the collection, I definitely wanted to get Village of the Damned, because I actually really do like this film. I think it's really underrated. Not enough people talk about it. Death Becomes Her. Got a really fun story about this. I was going to get this on Blu-ray, and then the price skyrocketed to like double or triple the original price that I saw on Amazon for a long time. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? And then I check all these different places, and the price is still crazy. And then I go in and I check Scream Factory's official site, and they're out of stock. So I'm like, okay, what is going on here? So I didn't want to pay the crazy price. So what I ended up doing is I mentioned what was going on a Facebook group of DVD and Blu-ray collectors. And one of the members graciously helped me out. He was at a disc replay, I think. I think that's what it was. And he saw one, and he bought it for me, and I paid him a little bit extra, and he shipped it out. So I have Death Becomes Her. So that was really cool, with the slipcover too. So that really surprised me, blew me away really, that somebody would just go out of their way for me like that. That was really cool. And I love this film, and I've never seen it in widescreen because I've only seen it in full screen on VHS and DVD. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this in widescreen. I've heard a lot of crap about the picture quality. I looked at it. I didn't think it was that bad. So I flipped through it. It didn't look unwatchable at all. It's cool to see that there's some interviews with some of the cast and crew, including the director, but it's disappointing that they didn't find the deleted scenes. And Bruce Willis and Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, none of them say anything. But there's a vintage making of featurette, though, so might hear their words in that. Regardless, though, really, really glad to get my hands on Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her, in a lot of ways, is a Tales from the Crypt movie. It really is. It's an alternate Tales from the Crypt film. Like, I could totally see the Crypt Keeper introducing this movie, and it would fall right in line with stuff like Bordello of Blood. It makes sense. Robert Zemeckis is one of the producers of Tales from the Crypt. And then we have Weird Science. This is the Arrow video release of Weird Science. This is the ultimate release of this film. You have this really bitchin' awesome slipcover, uh, loaded with features, new transfer of the film. Not only just a new transfer of the theatrical release, but like you have different cuts of the movie. You have the TV cut, you have the alternate cut, you have all, you have all different types of cuts. You have the original features from the original DVD and Blu-ray collector's edition. You have some new features with the limited releases. With the early ones, you have, a booklet which has some artwork and writing about the film. It's so cool. So awesome. Always really enjoyed Weird Science. It's a film that I grew up with, and I'm really looking forward to watching it again on this Blu-ray because I haven't seen it in a long time. And I'm actually looking forward to checking out the TV series too because I have the first 2 seasons. I'd like to get the rest of the show too sometime, but I mean, wow, this is just such a I never thought that Arrow would do Weird Science, but it's so awesome that they did because they're so perfect for it. Like they're on a whole other level for sure. So that's Weird Science, and I know they're doing American Werewolf in London, and I'm so fucking pumped for that. I love that film. It's my favorite werewolf movie, and I cannot wait for that release. The rest of these are various different Blu-rays I got from different places. Facebook group, Amazon, so on and so forth. Nighthawks, the Shout Select Edition. I'm going to be reviewing this fairly sometime soon, along with a bunch of other Rutger Hauer movies in honor of Rutger. For what I actually did watch. I watched it, but I was tired, so I don't think I really gave it a fair shake, so I'm going to watch it again before I review it. I do remember there being a little sort of glitch at one point in time where the disc made my player freeze at a certain point, and then I had to like completely reset everything. I had to unplug it from the wall, from the surge protector, just so I could get everything to work again. Thankfully, everything was fine. Nothing really got messed up, which I'm really glad for because it's the 4K player. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's only a few months old. I'm hoping the next time I watch it, I'm not going to run into that. I think it might have been because I did something where I had it paused for a decent amount of time, but I don't know. Regardless, that's a weird glitch I've never really run into with the Blu-ray. It didn't skip, it just froze, which is bizarre. So I'm hoping this isn't like a disc that just does that all the time. That would be a pain in the ass. Then I got A Breed Apart. Never seen this one. Curious about it though. Rutger Hauer, Powers Booth, Kathleen Turner. I got the Payback Time triple feature only for Blind Fury because I already have Silent Rage by itself. I have White Line Fever on DVD, and I'm not really that big on White Line Fever. Silent Rage I really enjoy, but I already have that separately. And Blind Fury, I only got it for Blind Fury. I wish they just released Blind Fury separately. Like, can they do a Blind Fury release separately with the VHS cover art? Like, I'd be up for that. I think that'd be really cool. I would rather have that than have Blind Fury on, a triple pack. But here's the thing. Apparently, Blind Fury has gotten a release overseas a few times, but the picture quality is actually worse than the picture quality of the Blind Fury release on a triple pack, which has 3 films on 1 disc. So, yeah, crazy. But for the collection, absolutely, and for Blind Fury because I really, really enjoy Blind Fury. It's one of my favorite Rutger Hauer films. Without Warning, for the collection, the precursor to Predator, essentially. Kevin Peter Hall actually plays the alien in it. Always been curious about this. I've actually never seen it though. Decided to get my hands on it. Got it the same day I got the Entity. Galaxy Quest. Love this film. To me, it's honestly the best Star Trek film in terms of the spirit of Star Trek since First Contact, because the other Star Trek, the Star Trek reboot films, like there are some that I remember actually not minding Star Trek Into Darkness, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. Beyond, I wasn't really a fan of, and I even saw that in the theater. Um, the 2009 film, I don't think has aged very well. It really doesn't hold up that well. And Nemesis is pretty bad. I can watch it, but I'm not going to defend the film. Insurrection is even worse. So it's crazy to me that a parody of Star Trek is the best Star Trek film uh, since First Contact. It's crazy, but it is. It really is the best Star Trek. It's essentially a Star Trek movie. It's just uh, under its own franchise. Because Galaxy Quest is clearly 100% a Star Trek parody. In spirit, in its genesis, and everything. But it's a film that I've always enjoyed watching ever since I was a kid, and I really did want to get it on Blu-ray, and I'm glad I finally have it. And one of these days I'll review it, because and Spaceballs, because those are two of my favorite comedies ever. Really, is Galaxy Quest and Spaceballs. Really enjoy those two. Shakedown with Peter Weller and Sam Elliott, the Shout Selector edition. It's too bad Peter Weller didn't talk about the film. Couldn't get Sam Elliott to talk about the movie either. But, you know, it's I'm glad to have it, though. I got a good deal on it, too. Upgrade over my DVD. And it's got some features on it. Really underrated movie. I reviewed it a while back for the Peter Weller marathon I was doing that I would like to get back to someday. And is one of my favorite Peter Weller films for sure. Really, really enjoyed this one for the most part. Then we have The Seventh Sign. Very unique post-apocalyptic movie that deals with like the end of the world, but from a very different perspective than most of them. And it's a film that I haven't seen in a long time, but I remember it being at least interesting. And I'm glad I picked this Blu-ray up. And I wanted to because it's got an interview with Michael Biehn, who I really enjoy. He's one of my favorite actors. Then we got Quigley Down Under, one of Tom Selleck's best. I got this to mainly just upgrade the DVD that I had. It's got an interview with Laura San Giacomo, which is cool, but it's too bad they couldn't get Tom Selleck. I know they couldn't get Alan Rickman because at this point he had already passed away, but it's really too bad though that, you know, Selleck is just unwilling to really talk about a lot of his films. And then Deep Impact. Got it because it was super cheap and I wanted to upgrade my DVD. I remember seeing this and thinking it's okay. I definitely like Armageddon more. This is more of a serious version of Armageddon, really. Even though it has its own moments of, you know, over the top elements. This is definitely one of the more serious version of it. More dramatic take on an asteroid hitting the Earth. I would like to get Armageddon on Blu-ray though, because the DVD, the Criterion release, is a bit dated. It's got features on it, but the picture quality isn't the greatest. Because I definitely do enjoy Armageddon, and I didn't mind this, and I think it would look good on Blu-ray for the visuals and everything. So anyway, that is it for this DVD Blu-ray update as well as unboxing. Once again, big thanks goes to Martin for sending me all those wonderful gifts all the way from overseas. Also, another huge thanks goes to Mike for sending me Poltergeist: The Legacy. And that's it. Thank you for watching. And as always, I will see you later. See ya.